Just give me a sec. There's some issues here in regards to electrical. I don't know why there's four junction boxes up here. It's a little weird, a little odd. It is a safety issue. I should be a roofer. So what we're looking at, this is a 40 unit building in St. Catharines. Numbers wise, it's about 130,000 per unit. Extra piece of land at the front, they severed that, and there's extra piece of land at the back as well. So unfortunately we can't give you the address. We just don't want people flooding here and, you know, disturbing tenants and, you know, creating a ruckus here. So essentially what it is that we have it under contract, and now I have to get my crew in here. My crew is usually plumbers. They scope the line. I'm a mechanical contractor. They'll come in and take a look at the boiler room.
Have some crust.
Okay.
If you want to watch it. It looks like it's 6-inch. Most of the pipe looks like that.
Yeah. The plumber, the sewer guy, he just took a look at it. There's some work that was done at the front of the building. I think that it was probably the severing of the piece of land at the front. So they just marked it off, and then Matt confirmed that it wasn't really anything major. So they severed that to sell. So that's a little bonus for this little property here. So that's good. Mechanical contractor is taking a look at the boiler. It looks pretty decent, built in or installed in 2001. Probably like a 1.5 million BTUs for this boiler. I'm guessing it's a 40 unit building, so it should be about there. Heat exchanger is good. Some of the heating bricks was changed. You can see some of the screws that were sort of new. You can see it, so they've done some work and maintained it. It's actually very good. The boiler system is well maintained, and that's what you like to see. If not, then you know you gauge that. They always do a service before the winter time, and then just shut off in the summertime is you just shut it off. You don't need maintenance for that. Other than that, well-run building. Just a little bit of issue with the kitchen stack, but that's very normal. Any kind of building that you purchase, you expect that. You have to flush it out. Just those kitchen stacks has to be cleaned out regularly. Other than that, the roof, either the current owner now, he gets his roofer to do it, or I may have to get my guy to come in. My electrician and my PN will be here next week just to make sure that everything is good and up to the standard that we want it to be, and then we'll get my electrician or whatever to make sure that those junction boxes are placed on the side of the building instead of just lying on the roof in water. So, but it's hard to manage. Like I think knows, and everybody knows that when you manage a building like this, you have to stay on top of your contractors, right? And these contractors, you know, pull things out, a light, and then I forgot to mark it off, right? It's like it's very easy for them to get the work going and not know how to put back things where they're supposed to, or clean up after themselves and things like that. So Colton, what's the location-wise, how's this? What do you think?
So yeah, here St. Catharines within the Niagara region, this area specifically, very close to the downtown core. So about 5-minute drive, you have the old General Hospital that they're tore it down and they're putting luxury condos in. And you're very close to the QEW, which all the way from Niagara Falls to Toronto. Even out way, I guess, make it out way to London. But this area specifically has come up a lot because a lot of Toronto money is pouring into Niagara region, because I think they're realizing that it's growing. Lots of retirees coming here from Toronto. Also a very big student market. Brock University, about 20,000 students. Niagara College has 2 campuses within the Niagara region, about 20 minutes away from this location. And they have about 12,000 students. So lots of demographic here. And lots of opportunity for growth.
So this we're actually working on a deal.
Yeah, no, people are going to love this.
So it's not like I've already got the deal, it's done, it's stabilized. This is something that we're working on. We're going to be raising money for. Usually we're doing accredited investors, but for something like this, yeah, it's going to be accredited investors. We're actually trying for something different here. We're going to try like a mutual fund trust. Matt probably knows what it is, but there's some finer details that you have to work on. So we're not sure, like people are reaching out to us, even to you, like they want to invest. We turn a lot of people away because we don't really work with an EMD. We only work with accredited investors. So these are exempt market dealers. So we would have to work with them. We have a few people that would reach out to us that want some of our deals and some of the, I guess, returns, right? So Yeah. Anything else? I don't even know what to say anymore. But yeah, other than that, it's like taking a look at the roof line. Flashing is done. These are downspout. Those are your scuppers. The scuppers is right there where they meet your roof, and then it comes straight down. When they do the roof, it's ponding. Like Adam went up to the roof and he sees some ponding there. It's not great, but we can't do anything about it, right? And these scuppers are essentially right where the roof and the walls meet. That's where the drain is, right? You see those little scuppers, and the water just ponds. It doesn't reach the scuppers. I wish they can do it better. Sometimes I've seen some roofers put foam up to get the height up. Foam doesn't add weight to it, and then try to drain it out so that you at least have somewhat of a slope, so the water can drain off the building. So if there's any kind of holes or perforations in that membrane, at least you're not getting water through that ceiling and causing damage to the interior building. So it is what it is. You gotta work with what you have. If there's any kind of problems, we just have to manage it and maintain it as building owners.
So I guess one question the audience may have, we won't be really showing him, but the seller was here, and it seems like you guys have some really strong rapport. Had you met him before
No.
offering on this deal, or how
No.
were you guys able to?
So right when we put in the offer, it was just right after that OREC, we came and walked the building. So we wanted to meet him with our broker. I believe he's a broker as well, but he owns a lot of apartment buildings as well in this area. But yeah, I never met him before. And then we're just talking about renovation, how we're gonna renovate the last 4 units, because I actually want him to renovate it. We can put on the APS, but I want it on the mortgage. So what this means is that it's not gonna be money out of my pocket, it's not money raised, it's gonna be on the mortgage, and it's gonna be amortized over that period, over the 25 years. So at least cash flows wise, it's gonna be a lot easier. So if you can negotiate with the seller, it makes it a lot easier. He's easy to work with. Likewise, I'm hoping I'm easy to work with as well. So, but you try to, meet in the middle. Whatever his contractor gives me a quote, I'll take a look at that and make sure it's fair. And then I will oversee the finish as well. So you can't just slap anything up. So I want to make sure that it's at that certain level that we negotiate on. So everything can be negotiated, it can be worked on. So that's what you want to try to do if you can have that owner. Sometimes you can't, and you just take it as it is. The thing is that once those 4 units are they're not done when you take possession, then it's just time out from you that you have to have that money, you have to get your contractors, and there's that lag, that 2-3 months, 1-2-3 months, because there's 4 units of renovation and so on and so forth. So it's eating into your cash flow, right?
Do you recommend for someone that's looking at buying a property, should they make the offer first and then ask to meet the owner? Do you ask to meet the owner before you make the offer?
It depends on the owner. Some owners don't want to, they want to free up their life, their time, and they don't want to meet the new owners, right? They just want to get out of this business, right? So it depends. He seems pretty genuine. He's easy to work with, and he wants to meet us because the main thing is that he wants to make sure that we can close. So that's something that was a pain point in his dealings with this building, is that he couldn't sell it because the other guy left. I think there was some type of problem with I actually don't even know. I think it was something with the financing. So it didn't work out. The original buyer walked, and then it came right on the market, and then we actually had to tie it up really quickly. So depending on go back to your question, depending on that owner, how quickly he wants to get out, and if he's wants to meet the buyers, right?
Do realtors sometimes push back when you ask to meet the owner?
Not.
Is there any suggestions on how to handle that, or usually they just say sure or no?
I don't think it's really the realtor. I think it's the owner. So if they're open, right?
Yeah. Like you just have your realtor make a request to their realtor, and
yeah. Actually, he wanted to see us because he wanted to make sure that we can close. So he actually Googled me and said, "Hey, let me take a look at his current properties, his holdings, right?" So he wants to know if we're capable of it. Like if we have not done any deals in St. Catharines or anywhere, and never close a deal, then he'll probably pass on us, right? So that's something that he's looking for. He's looking for somebody that can close. He doesn't want to hold this because he needs his money out. Same thing when I was selling my Templex in Chapel, in Kitchener, is that I want to make sure that the guy can close. The buyer was a lawyer. He had some holdings, so I was like, you know what? This is the best deal. I'm going to go for it. $85,000 a unit, right? It's only 3 years ago, and I think that was a steal. But for everybody, everybody's going to have their own little story. Some people will not want to meet you. They want to get the highest price because the value of this is probably $150 a unit. I'm guessing 140 to 150, and at 130, it's a pretty good value. Very, very straightforward. Nothing really complicated. I don't have any kind of work that needs to get done. There's no structural issues. Very simple. It's my bread and butter type of thing. Get in, renovate, and just drive up the rent, right? Nothing complicated. This is nothing. I'm not changing too many things. I'm not adding units. I will be actually adding some units, but exterior to that footprint of the building. I'm not doing anything like that. So everything's contained. If it's a locker room, it's still contained, right? If I need to get some windows in there, that's pretty easy. But yeah, that's very, very simple, right? So yeah, some of the locker, I think it's around here. So you can see the window, the height of the window, the size of the window is the same as the upper ones. So if I punch out a window through those walls, through that locker, I'm gonna have a lot of light into those units. So one of them is a 650. Another, I believe, was about actually larger. I think one was about 800 units. The other locker was a little bit bigger, I believe. And there's actually another unit upstairs that we can change from the maintenance room to another bachelor suite. So there's at least 4 units that I can put in here. Oh, sorry, 3 extra units that I can put in here.
Like, is that typical to get that level of access to your seller? Because like that obviously helps, because then you guys can talk about things like that renovation live. You can really get through the details fast and without having another person between you.
Yeah. Sorry, your question was
so, like,
the access
is that
to
typical? Like, do you find that you're often getting in touch with the seller and dealing with it in real time?
half and half, because my Elgin property, yes, I dealt with him in the parking lot just like this.
Yeah.
The Linwood Lotha property, no. He was an agent in Guelph, and he didn't want to be, he wanted to own business. He was a realtor. He just wanted to sell and get out. But he had 400 or 500 units, I believe. So I was buying 65 units, and those 65 units, he just wanted to take his money and run. So he didn't want to talk about anything. No VTB, nothing. So is it typical? I guess half of my properties, yeah, it's typical that I can meet the seller. I'll be open as well when I want to sell. I'm open as well. If you want to meet, I can tell you what's going on, what the what the problems is with the tenants with the property. There's always going to be issues. Every little property is going to be different, right? Like you said, is that there's a kitchen stack issue. That's easy. You can manage that pretty easily. There's going to be tenant issue. How are the tenants, right? How's the profile of the tenants? Like when I'm looking at this building, it's a 40-unit building, and scan the parking lot. So Matt, just scan the parking lot. So there, I came in a car and it's pretty empty. That's what you're looking for, right? So these are things that sort of pop in your head. It's like, okay, well, the parking lot's kind of empty on a Wednesday morning, right? I was here at 10:30, and that's what you want. If you start on next week Tuesday when I do my my inspection with the engineer, I'm going to take a look at every unit. I want to see who's at home, right? So who's at home? Are they working? Are they on assistance, right? On welfare, on ODSP. So that's what you're looking for, right? There's nothing wrong with buildings that has a lot of people on social assistance. It's just that like, be mindful what you're getting into, right? If you're getting into that, know what you're getting into. This is something that is easy for me. I want to say one thing is that I'm not a coach, I'm not a mentor. Like, hopefully you get information from this, but there's 2 things that if you're starting out buying multifamily, I would really highly suggest 2 things, okay? Is that you hold a little bit more cash, okay? Like if you don't have a mentor, and you can't find any mentor, hold a little bit more cash, okay? Because I think her name was Angie. She said that it's a good point. Is that there's a problem, you throw money at it. It's true. It's like you take out your wallet and you throw money at it. That's all it is, right? You get your professionals in there and get it fixed. So number one, throw money at it. Number two is buy a better location, right? So you're not buying your Schedule D, your low class buildings, your location that's rough, and you know that you're just getting it cheap, on the cheap. If you don't have any mentor, no coach, nothing, if you're just listening to, you know, these videos, watching these videos, those are the two things I would recommend. Hold more cash and buy a better location. That's it, okay? And that would actually help you quite a bit, because obviously you're getting a better location, getting better tenants, right? If there's any kind of issues, if you've done all your due diligence and you got all your people in there, hold that extra couple $100,000 or whatever, okay? Because that's what's gonna help you through the down patches, like your problems is really, you're just gonna pull out your wallet and throw cash at it. And that's what it is, right? This business is very simple. Conceptually, it's very easy, right? It's the execution. Execution is hard, right? It's not hard that nobody can do it. Really, anybody can do it, right? It's really if you want to do it. So, yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Nice.
So I saw some other of your videos. Is it like I have to say you're like the Oprah man, but you just look different. Like Oprah, what is Oprah? It's like Oprah, just like she's a talk show host, right? That's all you. Whatever.
Just being the platform.
Yeah.
Well, and for me right now, it's just a great excuse to be able to talk to people that otherwise it maybe would be difficult to get easy access to them, right?
So it's good. What are you guys up to now? Are you guys buying any more, or?
I'm kind of really focusing right now on.
Okay, well, this is just the rebuttal of this comment. It seems like a lot of people are concerned for me. I don't know why, for whatever reason, people are
They don't
thinking
think you can handle yourself.
I know.
Just because you buy buildings like this, they don't think you can handle yourself.
This guy is taking advantage of me. It's like old man Wong. Okay, so that was one of the comments of Matt McKeever's taking advantage of old man Wong. So let's sort of get this straight. Okay, I think I'm okay with like I'm actually kind of flattered that people are taking, you know, trying to take care of my finances and making sure that people are not taking advantage of me. But let's set this straight. I don't have time for YouTube. I don't have time for even coaching. People have asked me to do coaching, and I just don't have the time for it. So this is one avenue where I can just get information out to you guys that you guys can learn and take this and run with it and actually succeed. That's my whole point, is just educating people. I'm not here to get anything out of it. But Matt, I think people think that I want to get paid. I should get paid. I should get paid, right, Matt? So this is how I'm going to say. This is how I want to get paid. There's two options of paying, okay? First option is this: you have to find out the X amount of costs, because my time is valuable, right? So you should be paying me. This is how you're going to pay me. Think about the dollar value of all these videos. So let's say it's 500. Okay, $500. All right. You think it's fair? So it's $500. Now you're going to pay $500. This is how you're going to pay me. You're going to pick a charity of your choice. I don't even want to know about it. Okay, it's charity of your choice. You're gonna drop that $500 or $200 or $100 if you're in a budget or anything like that. If you're starting out, $50. Okay, that's one. That's an easy one. Number two is this. This is harder. Everybody in their life has a relationship that's hard, that's difficult, that it's broken down. It could be a family. It could be, usually it's family. It's mother, father, uncles, aunts, brothers or sisters. Okay, cousins, aunties, or uncles. You're gonna take that person out for dinner. Okay, you're gonna sit down with them. You're gonna have a meal with them, and you're gonna try to sort of mend that relationship. That's harder, because these are people that you know. So that's how I want to get paid.
I love it.
All right. So I'm not here to get money from you guys. I'm not saying, hey, go to the back of the room. I want your credit card right now. Pay me, pay me, pay me. I want those views or whatever. I'm not asking for that. I just want you guys to succeed. And you know what? Just pay forward. Number one or number two. Number two is harder. Okay. Number two is everybody has that. Don't think that you don't, because you do.
I love it.
All right.
That's great advice, and I hope you guys take advantage of it and go do it.
There. That's how I want to get paid.
Like it.